I think nostalgia is really just yearning. It's a feeling that stirs something so deep inside your soul, it almost feels like a dream you can't quite place. It's a desire to go back in time to a different place, one that feels peaceful. You felt it before in films, music, and probably reels on social media as well. And they all have this way of pulling you in. You can almost like taste that warm, familiar sense of longing that they all kind of represent. But yet, each film, each scene is unique. It has different tones, different visuals, and different ways of representing the universal feeling of nostalgia. But it's all kind of a collective yearning for something distant, something that feels even unreachable.
Okay, so I've had this camera for about 3 years now, and it's kind of just been one of those point and shoot little digital cameras that I never really thought about. It was kind of just, sat in the corner, and every once in a while I would use it and I'd be like, oh, I forgot I had that. But recently I realized it has a video feature, and I've been trying to utilize that more. And it's kind of created this weird, beautiful change of perception about my philosophy of art and how I see it. And the fact that perhaps it's not always perfection that creates art, but something different entirely. Perhaps emotion is what drives art really more than anything. Kind of what this camera kind of creates, the feeling of nostalgia. And that alone is what art is. It's kind of just the ability to create emotion from other people. I feel like this would be a good segue into the interview I did with one of my buddies, Hayward. He talks a lot about the kind of art he creates, which is kind of obscure, kind of just chaotic, almost it feels like. But whenever he was discussing it with me, he kind of told me that people perceived his art in so many different ways. And perhaps the most valuable art of all is the art that makes you think, or makes you feel. And so that's sort of where I want to segue into the interview portion of this segment. So here it is. I hope you enjoy. All right, what's your name?
Hayward Dover. Anytime I was bored as a kid, and I would say, "Mom, I'm bored," or whatever kids say, she would give me chores. She would also recommend that if I were bored, I should try to make something. So pretty quickly, it became associated in my mind very early on that if you're bored, you should make something. The method I use to make art a lot of times is it feels more like the process is making it a lot of times, which takes a lot of pressure off of me. I'm never yeah, for sure. For the most part, the process is, I find a lot of comfort and joy in the process.
Do you think there could be a best artist?
A good artist can make something that is for them, and then it also impacts a lot of people. Like Van Gogh's work is so real and then abstracted in that such unique way, and it kind of like echoes with people. They've seen that and then they see that art and it's like, yeah, I know that feeling. I'm still not sure if there is a best artist, but even if there is, it's not a competition, for sure.
No.
Because I think I think a good artist functions more on internal motivation than external motivation. And I guess that's kind of what I was trying to think of earlier, but it's so hard to make something for someone else or for outside reason or something like that. I think that's why people talk about a muse so much, because it's really something inside yourself that's like feels external. You can kind of use it as a mirror for what people might like, but it really is something internal. And so it kind of plays that double role of being an internal inspiration and an external mirror toward what people like.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want your videos to look like this? Let me show you how. I would like to introduce you to Dehancer Film Emulation, the sponsor of today's video.
Okay, so I'm not the most skilled at color grading or really anything like that, and I'm just basically going to show you the exact color grade that I do. I'm just going to show a picture on screen right now. That's literally what my color grade is. It's not complicated at all, but I wanted to tell you some of the things that Dehancer has outside of the color grading feature that I just showed you. For example, they have 60 plus film stock emulation profiles, so you can really get any particular look that you're trying to go for. I kind of use this a lot whenever I see films and I'm curious what they were using at the time, and then I can go to an emulation and kind of just copy it from, inside the software. And then of course it's got halation and bloom profiles and film damage and overscan, and these are all things that kind of just add to the character that is filmed to make it feel more realistic. I recommend you go through and just play with all the settings and see what everything does. I really like the halation because you get that little red glow around whatever your subject of focus is, and it looks really, really good. Other than that, I mean, a lot of the entire video pretty much has been edited with Dehancer Film, and so if you like the way it looks, then you'll probably like the way the Dehancer looks on your film. So if you want to check out Dehancer, you can visit the link in my description, and there's like a 10% discount code that you can get if you use a particular code if you really, really want to get it. And I'm also going to make a custom LUT that you can copy and paste onto your videos as well if you do decide to get Dehancer. Thank you to Dehancer again for sponsoring this video. Okay, so you're probably wondering right now how exactly this camera changed my life. And it's actually pretty simple, so let me explain it.
Okay, so you see, they often say that the best filmmakers in the world are the ones that can do the most with the least. And well, I was kind of just afraid to admit that I wasn't one of the best. I'm sure it sounds quite ridiculous to say that if I can't perform cinematic footage with a camera from 2004, then I'm not a good filmmaker. Or if I was just relying on a really, really nice camera setup to make my footage even look remotely good.
And so I have a really good buddy that I work with. His name is Justin. And I was talking to him about this, and he actually said something that really stuck with me. He said, in order to find the line, sometimes you have to go over it. And I guess maybe what he meant by that is sometimes it just takes failing. And sometimes to find the line, you just have to, put in a little bit more effort than you really are willing to. Put in more effort that you're scared will not come to fruition. And you see this line that he's talking about, and the objective of reaching it or landing right on the line of what you're hoping to achieve. It's scary to me to put more effort into something without the knowledge that it will succeed.
But I guess it didn't matter because I still decided to use the camera anyways, and I don't think I found the line yet, but I think I'm a lot more willing to go searching for it.
And that sort of brings me to one of the best quotes that I've probably ever heard in a song. And I think it's the reason that I keep moving forward so much.
Take everything you have in front of you, make every movement do it to you. You